What's up, WWE YouTube Nation or YouTube fans? I hope you are all having a awesome Monday, and I hope you had a awesome and yeet weekend as well, guys. It was the final Monday Night Raw of 2025, and boy, do we have a whole lot to get to in this episode, guys. We have 2 championship matches to talk about, guys, and a whole lot more, guys. So without further ado, guys, welcome back to the channel of the Ryan Knight WWE Report right here on YouTube. Oh, by the way, YouTube. Well, just like I said, guys, tonight's Monday Night Raw was the final Monday Night Raw of 2025, and we had not one, but 2 championship matches, especially with the Women's World Championship on the line, and also the WWE World Tag Team titles on the line as well. The very first match of the night and the main event were championship matches, guys. But before we get into that, we got to talk about the Vision, because the Vision did kick off the final Monday Night Raw of 2025, guys. And let's just get it out of the way, okay? So last week, Austin Theory teamed up in the main event of Raw with the Tribal Thief, Big Bronson Reed. And you know, I think I said that match was kind of like a tryout match or an audition for Austin Theory in the Vision. Well, guess who was with the Vision to kick off Raw tonight? None other than Austin Theory. And after all the rumors all week long have been going around and around and around, WWE Hall of Famer, the wise man or the Oracle, Paul Heyman, made it official, guys, that Austin Theory is the newest member of the Vision. And you know what? I got to be honest with you. I said it myself, guys. Austin Theory, this new attitude and new persona, as they say, guys, it fits right in with the Vision. But if I can say anything to Austin Theory, it would be congratulations. Of course, welcome to the Vision. But really, that's not what I wanted to really talk about regarding the Vision. Because next week, the very first Raw of a new year, it will be the Vision's Bron Breakker having his very first opportunity on the main roster at a WWE World title. He will face the best in the world, CM Punk, for this very WWE World Heavyweight Championship, okay? And it is the promo between Bron Breakker and the World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk that really caught my attention tonight. So, Bron Breakker, yes, dogs are barking in Orlando. Basically, guys, he said one thing out in this promo with CM Punk tonight that caught my full and undivided attention. Bron Breakker, he runs the ropes at 23 miles an hour. And next week on Raw will be the biggest match of his life, because either 2 things are going to play out. A, he will become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Or B, he will lose and CM Punk will retain. Now, I'm not asking at the moment who you guys got. It is basically what Braun Breaker said to CM Punk. He said, I am willing to die for that championship. And I've asked myself, pretty much all day, how bad does Braun Breaker want to be the new World Heavyweight Champion? And to hear the way he said, I am willing to die for that championship, it shows. That's how bad he is willing to put it all on the line and even more. And that's in another way of a dog. He is willing. He is hungry. And he is hungry. That is how hungry he is to become the new World Heavyweight Champion. But I also like what WWE World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk said to Braun Breaker. He said, that someday someone is going to beat me for this championship. But he also said, it ain't going to be you. Now, you know what's funny about him saying, it ain't going to be you? One of those words CM Punk used, or should I say the World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk used, is nana, not in the dictionary. The word ain't is not a word. It's not in the dictionary. If you don't believe me, look it up. But it's kind of funny how the WWE World Heavyweight Champion would end 2025 as the rightful World Heavyweight Champion and at the moment best in the world, and he would use a word that is not a word in a promo. So I just found that pretty funny, guys. If you don't know what I mean by ain't is nana, not a word, guys. I had a teacher in middle school, okay, that would chew us out in class for using the word ain't. And I never understood why. And then I finally had the nerve to ask, and she told me it's not a word. And if you don't believe me, look it up. And you know what? I looked it up, guys. It's not in the Webster Dictionary, so ain't is not a word. I know we're all on holiday break from school, but a little education now. But I found that a little humorous, but you know what, guys? It's going to be a great match next week on Raw, the first Raw of a new year, and you can already feel how pumped up I am for that and that match as well. But you know what, to hear Braun Breaker and the way he said it, that I am willing to die for that championship, it's kind of like if Braun Breaker loses next week. Oh boy, that's not going to end well. So, hey, I'm not, what? Later in the week, we can preview this and get all you guys' thoughts on it. But the way Braun Breaker said, I'm willing to die for that championship, it got my undivided attention, because not a whole lot of times does Braun Breaker pick up a microphone and say he is willing to die to win that title. That is like, in another word, that is how, in the dog term, that is how hungry he is. And hey, next week could be the biggest win of Braun Breaker's career, but it also could be the biggest loss, because like the World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk said tonight, somebody's going to beat me for the World Heavyweight title, but it's not going to be you. And, I like how CM Punk said that. That shows the confidence going into this match of how truly best in the world CM Punk truly believes. He truly believes he is the best in the world. And next week he's going to have the perfect opportunity to prove it. But that's next week. We got to talk about our 2 title matches that happened tonight. All right, guys, our first match of the night, that was for a title. It was La Primera Stephanie Vaquer defending the WWE Women's World title against WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella and Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment Day. Now, here's what is interesting, okay? This match actually ended in one way that I did not think, okay? Now, look at it this way, guys, okay? I predicted that we would, if we crowned a new Women's World Champion, it would be Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment Day. That is who I said if we crowned a new Women's World Champion. Now, I gotta be very honest with you, okay? Nikki Bella, back at Survivor Series War Games, she had her opportunity at La Primera Stephanie Vaquer, and she failed. But I gotta be honest with you, Raquel Rodriguez has had her opportunity at La Primera Stephanie Vaquer, and she has failed. I gotta be very honest with you. All right from the get-go, guys, one thing I'll say about Nikki Bella from tonight is I loved those Nike Jordan Air Dunks. Boy, they were sick. Those shoes are like, well, in the words of The Miz, awesome. But back to the match. I want to really get your guys' input on it. La Primera Stephanie Vaquer, she walked out by pinning. She pinned WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella again. But it was Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment Day that hit a Tejada bomb on the WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella. And you know what? Stephanie Vaquer, I got to be honest, she survived. She threw Raquel out of the ring and pinned the WWE Hall of Famer 1, 2, 3, guys. And do you agree with me that La Primera Stephanie Vaquer escaped with the title? I mean, I understand triple threat, the first person to get a pinfall or submission wins the match. And hey, there's nothing wrong with saying that La Primera Stephanie Vaquer escaped with the title. Because literally at the end of the day, she is still the Women's World Champion. So, do you agree that Stephanie Vaquer was escaped and got desperate and somehow lucky? I'm just asking, guys. But Stephanie Vaquer, guys, she does retain the Women's World Championship. She pinned WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella for a second time. And it's kind of, last week on Raw, WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella kind of said she was the greatest of all time. But it's kind of tough for her to say that when she gets pinned 2 times by the same person who, might I add, is now and still currently the Women's World Champion. But you know what, guys? La Primera Stephanie Vaquer, I did not have Nikki Bella to win this matchup. So I guess I was right on that one. But literally, guys, what a performance. Nikki Bella, WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella, there were moments in that match she actually had, or somehow, maybe, have had the match won. But Raquel, man, you know what? She took a lot of damage in that matchup, especially to her right knee. And literally, guys, she had the match won if she hit that Tejada bomb and it wasn't for Stephanie Vaquer, we would have a new women's world champion. So in my mind, it's a tough loss for Raquel Rodriguez, but at the end of the day, Raquel was not the one that got pinned. You got to think about it now. It's been 2 times that WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella has gotten pinned by the same lady, might add, or woman, So, you know what? Is what it is. But I really, now we got to ask the question, what is next for the WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella? I would like to know what is next for Raquel Rodriguez and, of course, Stephanie Vaquer, guys. But, I mean, something, you know what? I'm more interested to find out what is next for Raquel Rodriguez. Because right before she went out, Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez, the Judgment Day, they kind of said, with Dirty Dom out, JD out, and all that, we need you to win tonight and bring gold back to the Judgment Day. And that didn't happen. Okay, so, I know Raquel Rodriguez was not pinned in the match. I'm very aware of that. We all are aware of that. But, you know what? I would not mind, personally, as a WWE fan or even a wrestling fan, I wouldn't mind seeing Raquel Rodriguez and Stephanie Vaquer for the women's world title again. I just don't want... It pains me to say this. I don't want Nikki Bella in the picture. She has now been pinned 2 times in 2 championship matches by La Primera, guys. I know I saw a lot of heat by wrestling fans. A lot of them said, why does WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella have to take the pin again? I know there were some people out there that wanted to see Nikki Bella become the new women's world champion. And, there were people probably that wanted to see Raquel Rodriguez. But, you know what? It was a good matchup. And I got to be honest with you, even though I said Stephanie Vaquer escaped with her title tonight, I still think at the end of the day, all 3 of those women definitely deserved at least to be called women's world champion. But it had to be a really tough thing for Raquel and the Judgment Day. Okay, because they will leave. They will end 2025 without really a title. The only champion in the Judgment Day is Dirty Dominic Mysterio, guys. And we will talk about that news at another time. But you know what, guys? I want to know, do you agree with me that Stephanie Vaquer escaped with her title? I don't think Stephanie Vaquer got lucky. I don't believe that. But you gotta, it's the way the match ended. Okay? It's the way the match ended. It was Raquel's finisher that on Nikki Bella. And, and then Stephanie, great ring awareness, great awareness during the match. She throws Raquel out and she gets the win, So, I'll applaud it, guys. It was a great match to kick off Raw. But I want to know, do you guys agree that Stephanie escaped? I don't believe she got lucky. I at the end of the day, I think she earned that win. But what a matchup! A great triple threat match. And you got to give it to Nikki Bella, guys. I don't like talking about a woman's age, but for somebody WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella's age, she did a great job. and all that. And I know Raquel is going to be frustrated, but hey, Stephanie Raquel still your women's world champion and proved why she is the women's world champion. Okay, well, let's go from the opening match of the night to the main event, the challengers Jimmy and main event Jey Uso. The Usos challenging the phenomenal AJ Styles and Dragon Lee for the World Tag Team Championships. You want to talk about one match tonight that was absolutely insane? It's got to be this match right here. Number one, guys, it was, I didn't know this, so, shout out to Joe Testatorn. It had been 2 years and 8 months since the Usos have held tag team gold. Okay, now think about that. I did not know it had been 2 years and 8 months. So, and they did not have an easy challenge tonight because you got the phenomenal AJ Styles, you got the future of Lucha Libre Dragon Lee, guys, and you know what? This match was not just a awesome main event to end 2025, but it could have been a main event of a PLE. I mean, you know what? We saw, we didn't see a new side of the Usos. We saw the bloodline version of the Usos. We saw them, we saw main event Jey Uso attack one of the Dragon Lee or AJ Styles when the referee's back was turned. So it showed how hungry the Usos weren't. And I mean, from left, right, up, down, east, west, this match, man, it defined the tag team division on Monday Night Raw. Because, Monday Night Raw is full of craziness and chaos. And this match was absolutely bananas chaos. But you know what, man? I cannot believe that AJ Styles, the phenomenal AJ Styles, got a spear by Jey Uso and a frog splash by Jimmy Uso, and he kicked out inches away. When I saw the spear and the frog splash, right then and there, I thought we had new tag team champions. And somehow, some way, I don't know. I mean, I guess, let's talk about what Orlando, Florida said. They chanted the Usos, but they chanted, "This is awesome." And it was a awesome tag team match. I mean, not only was it for the gold, but you know what? It showed, it was a shame, of how great this match was, that one of these teams was going to lose. That's literally how awesome this match was. I mean, if I could give it a scale of a 1 to a 5-star match, I would give it 100 stars. Because that's literally how off the trails craziness it was. I mean, from the minute the bell rang to the minute the bell ended. And I guess the only way I can say that this was awesome is that we also have new World Tag Team Champions, guys. Congratulations to the Usos. They are now 9-time Tag Team Champions, guys. We end 2025 on Monday Night Raw with new tag team champions, guys. But I want to, it's just a shame that AJ Styles and the future of Dragon Lee had to lose. Okay, no doubt about it. They were fighting champions. No doubt about it. But it's a shame that they had to lose, and all that. So I take nothing away from AJ, the phenomenal AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. But I guess everybody is uniting around the WWE, guys, because you know what? The CEO of the Uso Penitentiary, they are now once again and 9-time tag team champions, guys. And maybe an hour before that match, Jey Uso, he wasn't in his right head. He was like, in a way, doubting himself. And it was amazing. Well, shout out to Jimmy Uso on that, because I got to be honest with you guys. I'm proud to say that was a great match. That will maybe go down as one of the greatest tag team championship matches on Raw or in the Netflix era, no doubt about it. But I mean, hey, if we could look at a match recap, seeing how far the Usos were willing to go to become 9-time tag team champions, it's going to be a dogfight for those gold, but it's going to take a very special team, a very special tag team to take those WWE World Tag Team Championships from the 9-time tag team champions, or should I say now 9-time tag team champions, the Usos, guys. And I don't know who that tag team will be, but you know what, guys? I could be here all night. We could be here all night talking about how great that main event was tonight. But to just rest things up, guys, I want to know what you guys thought of the main event. It's not about the Usos becoming 9-time tag champs. It's what did you think of that match? I got to be honest with you guys. It's a shame that AJ Styles, the phenomenal AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, had to lose. But you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing those two tag teams do it again for the tag team gold. Wouldn't mind it one little bit. But all right, guys, I think that's a good place to stop. It was a great Raw tonight, and I know we didn't talk about everything that happened tonight on Monday Night Raw, and we could resume the other stuff that happened tonight in the next episode, guys. Especially with the newest member of the Vision, Austin Theory, because he has a new theme song, and I would like to know all of your guys' thoughts on that, so we can talk about that in the next episode. As always, guys, drop a like. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe if you are not a subscriber. Have a great and lovely rest of your Monday night. Let me know what you thought of the video. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Mwah. Love you guys.